Final play of the game. The Broncos have driven the ball all the way down to the Chiefs' 17-yard line and run out the rest of the clock. The Chiefs are up 16-14, and the Broncos have got it down to 1 second to go to try to kick the game-winning field goal. Ends up being a 35-yard field goal by Will Lutz. Now, the key to watch on this play is over here. So we've got Justin Reed, Jack Cochran, Leo Chenal, and George Karlaftis. So the Chiefs clearly end up targeting this man right here, number 54, on the Broncos, and they end up sending basically three right here: the Cochran, Chenal, and Karlaftis. Chenal kind of gets the main contact and just knocks him over entirely. Karlaftis is following, and Chenal is able to gather after knocking him over and leap alongside Karlaftis, and you can see here the ball hitting Chenal's arm right there. It ends up being below the palm on the wrist. But if you see this trajectory, it really looks like Karlaftis would have blocked it if Chenal didn't. But gets his hand, they basically just bull over. You can see number 54 straight on his back. They just bull him over entirely and block this kick, preserving the Chiefs' victory 16-14. Now, there are a couple things to break down on this play. First of all, it's been going around on the internet. I believe the Kansas City media person is named D-Mac Wake that initially posted this video that kind of made the rounds now since then. And it's a compilation of number 54 getting knocked on his back on field goal attempts throughout the season. So this is something that has been happening. He's been kind of a weak link in their protection all year. So if you want to see him right here, you can see it from this view pretty well, how he gets just knocked back entirely. You can see Chenal coming, but look at, they've got Cochran, Karlaftis, and Chenal. So clearly this is something that the Chiefs were targeting, right? This is a guy that has been blown off his spot several times this year. The Chiefs were aware of this and so sent the rush right through toward him. And just look at the athleticism here from Chenal. He knocks him over in the first motion and then gathers and just leaps. Gets right in front. You can see it's a blurry ball, but there's the ball right there. Contacts his hand as he blocks the kick. But it wasn't so simple as just that they went right at 54. There are a couple more aspects to this. I think the first thing was the film study and knowing that this is a weak link and we want to target him. But let's jump over now to an extra point that the Broncos kicked after their second touchdown during this game. Let's take a look at that. Well, I lied. This isn't an extra point attempt. This is actually the 60-yard field goal attempt that the Broncos tried at the end of the first half, the one that McCole Hardman ended up running back for like 50 yards before getting tackled. So I wanted to look at this play because it's informative how the Chiefs ended up trying to rush this kick. First of all, I want you to look at 54 again. He's the guy that we said the Chiefs had identified as a weak link. They rush Chenal and Karlaftis over him and bowl him over on this play. So Chenal and Karlaftis have shown that, that basically they've been able to exploit the same thing that they've noticed on film study, that these two guys are able to knock this guy over, 54, just like they've seen on film. But notably, Justin Reed and Jack Cochran are rushing over here. So they just have Chenal and Karlaftis. They actually drop Jaden Hicks on this one. And Chenal and Karlaftis go and bowl 54 over. So let's look at it from here. And I think, you can see that these two are here, and they're the ones that are set up on 54. So the Chiefs have seen this weakness. They feel like they can exploit it. But I think notice that without Justin Reed and Cochran, especially Justin Reed, the end guy is able to help inside on this play. That'll be informative as we come back and look at the end zone view of the field goal that ended up being blocked. So the couple things to note, the Chiefs have tried out going after 54 with Karlaftis and Chanel. They succeeded in knocking him over. They weren't able to quite get to the kick, but they were having Cochran and Reed rush off the other side, not the same side as Karlaftis and Chanel for this play. All right, so now let's jump over to a field goal that the Chiefs blocked against the Broncos the last time they played in 2023, a game where the Broncos beat the Chiefs in Denver. All right, now we're back in 2023. This is in Denver. The Chiefs were playing the Broncos. The Chiefs ended up losing this game, but they blocked a field goal, and it's important to see how they did it to kind of inform you as to what they ended up doing to block this field goal to win the game this year. So what they did on this play is they had Justin Reed on this side come around the edge, and if you look, he gets an awesome get off with the snap. It's like exactly, if you watch the ball move, Reed is moving as the ball is moving. He clearly had the snap count timed down to a T. Gets a perfect jump, and I want you to watch the end man here. Look how he just kind of puts a hand out, but he's really helping inside. And then Justin Reed gets around the edge and blocks this field goal. So in this scenario, you've got the end guy helping inside, and you've got Reed able to go around and block this field goal. So this had to have been in the back of the Broncos' minds now as we set up for the actual kick that gets blocked. So now you see as we kind of put it all together, on this time we have these guys lined up together on the same side as Justin Reed, and watch how differently 79 plays this, the leftmost protector. Watch how much attention he devotes to Justin Reed here. So he creates a much wider alley. He's not helping 54 out at all. He's really focused on making sure Reed can't do anything. And you contrast that to what it looked like previously when he was really helping inside and let Reed go all the way around the edge. So there's a combination. They ended up setting this up by knowing 54 is a weak link and really targeting him, trying to really run him over, and using the fact that Justin Reed had blocked a kick against the Broncos the last time we played them. They lined him up on the same side and made sure that 54 would have even less help than he typically would because they'd be worried about Reed coming off the edge. That allowed the Chiefs to exploit this right here, block the kick, and the Chiefs end up winning this game. I mean, that ends up being a huge, huge victory for the Chiefs. It preserves their season now at 9-0. Keeps them, I think most importantly, keeps them 2 games ahead of the Buffalo Bills for the 1 seed right now, with the game at Buffalo coming next. Well, that's it for this Steeler Thoughts Chief Feelings film review. Thank you so much for all of you that stuck with this, that have been watching the film reviews, that have been watching the video podcasts, or that have been downloading the audio podcasts, or that follow along on TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram at STCF715. Thank you so much for all the engagement. It's been really fun doing this. We will continue doing this through the football season, and then hopefully have some fun stuff for you in the off season as well. Maybe some more kind of season in review, but that's a long time coming from now. For now, let's see what happens in Buffalo next week, and then we'll have Steelers-Ravens as well coming up this week. But before that Steelers-Ravens game, we'll have the Steelers-Commanders film review that'll probably drop tomorrow. Thanks for following along. Until next time.